Hi everyone, this is Dr. Kafil Khan, Assistant Professor, Suspended Assistant Professor, BRD Medical College, Gorakhpur, a northern state governed by our Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath Ji Maharaj. India is facing an unprecedented grave situation crisis. People are dying because of lack of oxygen, hospital admission, medicine, lack of medicines. Crematoriums are full, graveyards they are waiting of 24 hours. That is the situation we are seeing in metros Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Lucknow, Ahmedabad. You can't imagine what is happening in peripheries. UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Assam, in the peripheries where forget about RT-PCR, RAT is not available. The primary health center, which is the backbone of any health system, is in shambles, is collapsed. It is like a deja vu situation for me. What I have witnessed because of lack of oxygen, 63 kids died in front of me. The same situation, the whole India is suffering. It's sad. I don't know anyone in India who have not lost their loved one, in this second wave. Where we have lacked, it's a total government failure. We have failed in three fronts. Government has let down the guard. The administration, the IS lobby, those who run the governance, they went into pandemic fatigue or maybe in sleep mode. And the third is the common Indian citizen herself has let down their guard. Government was more busy in 5 state election, allowed large religious gathering, allowed large mass gathering, and they were in denial mode. Data were manipulated, skewed, false and full of lies. Recently, Lancet has said that by August 2021, India would witness 1 million deaths. We have already data of around 2 lakhs people have died. But what we have seen in periphery where people have no health facility and they are dying at home. In Kanpur, one day 457 bodies were burned in a crematorium, and total Uttar Pradesh government said this is only 250 deaths. And this is not only in one state, it's happening in most of the states. Our health minister has declared victory in December itself, when we have not won the battle. So I would just say the government caught napping. Not planned. How many beds they have increased in 15 months? We have 15 months. First case was in January 30 in 2020. Now 15 months, how many beds we have increased? How many oxygen plants we have increased? Oxygen is a life-saving emergency drug, comes as the essential drug list. It's unimaginable to imagine though people dying just because of lack of oxygen in a hospital. Set up that also in metros. Black marketing, drugs like Remdesivir has been sold of 10,000 rupees for one vial. Cylinders which are selling of 50,000 rupees. Forget about the poor marginalized society, middle class people can't afford that much. Court has to intervene. Court Court intervened when FIR was lodged against a student who asked for cylinders on Twitter, social media about his grandfather. One oxygen cylinder. FIR was lodged against him. FIR was lodged against the hospitals who came to the front and said that there is a oxygen shortage in their hospital. FIR was lodged against journalists who showed the pathetic condition of government hospitals. Court said that no FIR should be lodged. Still, court has to come and said that dying because of lack of oxygen is a murder. It's a genocide. Court has constituted a 12-member expert committee to monitor oxygen distribution in India. What is Health Ministry is doing? Until this disease, the 6 mantras, awareness, test, trace, isolate, treat, vaccinate. But how many tests we are doing? We are doing only 1.5 million tests in a day, when we have a population of 1.4 billion. According to WHO, at least there should be 14 to 15 million tests per day. So when we are not doing the test, we are not knowing the extent of the disease. We are still in denial mode. No, we are not still in stage 3, the community transmission. When CDC is saying that the virus, the COVID-19 virus can be airborne also. It can travel more than 6 feet. So we have failed in all level, at the governance level, at the administrative level, and at the general population level also. Vaccine policy is just such a disaster. We started vaccinating our people from 16th of January, and it's already 4 to 5 months. We have given vaccine only 2% of population with 2 doses, and around 18 crore people have vaccinated with 1 dose. And now there is a vaccine shortage. If you book an appointment, you will get a date after 1 month. I won't get a slot, I think. Initially, central command in each aspect, it's like yes, it is a pandemic and central has to take command. They declare lockdown, they control oxygen supply, they control vaccine. Now when the situation is out of hand and it's a mess and people are dying, and so you came at no, all the states and private player can buy vaccine and give to their people. Now I am from Uttar Pradesh. If Uttar Pradesh government wants to give vaccine to their people, they have to negotiate with Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech. There will be meetings to negotiate about a price, the quantity and the process. And it's a babu dam. Administrative process will take long. So when we'll get the vaccine? I think at the vaccine policy, centers should procure and give it to free. Even Supreme Court has said the same thing. Centers should procure and give it to free to every citizen. We should know that vaccine is the only solution we have. We don't have any drug as such. So I'll tell you, the COVID-19, because of COVID-19 our health system has not collapsed. COVID-19 has exposed already collapsed health system. 40 countries are helping us with concentrator, PPE kit, oxygen, everything to our Atmanirbhar Bharat. Anyway, I want to tell you one last message. That it's a pandemic, it's a global phenomena. If India is bleeding today, no country is safe. Remember, it started from a small town in China and engulfed the whole world. So if India is considered as a ground zero, no country will be safe. So everybody should come together and help India to tide over this crisis. And even for us also, we should not criticize the government, and we should stand with the government at this time. We will ask questions. We will ask tough questions when the tide is over, when the crisis is over. But not now. Not right now. We'll have time. We should be together. We should save each and every single life. COVID-19, coronavirus, COVID disease has gone to the peripheries and creating havoc. People are dying. 2 days back, we have seen bodies in the river because the people could not getting wood to burn, to make fire. So many villages are there where more than 50-year population is wiped out. It's a very grave situation, my people, my friend, I appeal to everyone, come forward, support us, help us and pray for us. Please. It's a very sad situation. We have lost so many lives. We have lost so many people. There's so like can't have words. Enough of talking. This is the time. This is an unprecedented crisis, and unprecedented crisis needs unprecedented measures. But I'm not in a favor of lockdown, total lockdown, because I have gone to the peripheries, I have talked to the village people, and poor people are saying we will die because of corona, and before that we will die because of hunger. So economic is also has gone, collapsed our economy. So come together, pray for us.